Hello and welcome back to Football Fever. This week we will be recapping week 6 of the NFL. Unfortunately, last week we couldn't put out an episode because my high school tennis team made states and I did not have enough time to record an episode before Thursday night football. So I apologize for that. Going forward, we will most likely have weekly episodes with no delay. Tennis is over, so I will have a lot more free time. But again, I apologize for not uploading last week. But anyways, let's get into it. This is Football Fever. I'm Arav,
And then,
and let's start with our first game: Bucks at the Eagles. Ben, you want to talk about this one?
so surprisingly, the Eagles made it a close one, even with, I believe it was Gronkowski out. Or, sorry,
Bro, what?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady actually played well without Rob
I'm Brady's been
Gronkowski.
playing good, dude. He's like
This
44
is
now.
the Eagles. Okay,
Doesn't matter. He's
okay, okay,
44
okay.
years
Hold
old.
on. Without Rob Gronkowski, he was able to, I guess, Antonio Brown was one of his main targets, as well as um Leonard Fournette played incredibly well in this game as well, with two touchdowns on the day. So solid win for the Buccaneers, but for the Eagles, 2-4. I just don't think there's a way they can win the division the way the Cowboys are playing right now.
If I'm the Eagles, I mean, yes, you have Jalen Hurts. I mean, he played subpar, 12 of 26. I mean, if I'm looking at him, he's more of an improviser QB. Like he's fast, can get out of the pocket, but he kind of was lackluster his performance. Passer rating 55.7. This is very low. I mean, Brady was slinging it on the other side of the ball. If I'm the Eagles, I want to focus on the run game more. I mean, you have Miles Sanders back there. I'm not gonna go out and say he's uh, a top 10 running back in the league, but he's very close. He's still a very good running back to have back there. If I'm the Eagles, I'm looking forward. I'm gonna use him more. I mean, looking at the stats right now, Jalen Hurts 10 carries on 44 yards, and Miles Sanders 9 carries on 56 yards, and that was their entire rushing offense that game. Their rushing off or their offense in total just kind of got shut down. Um, talking about their offense, they lost a key component in Zach Ertz, traded him to the Arizona Cardinals. I believe it was for a third round pick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but last game as an Eagle, it's kind of sad. But yeah,
I honestly do not like that move by the Arizona Cardinals, man.
I
Just
I,
because, just because,
I actually agree. I'm kind of iffy on it because they only gave up a third round pick, but I don't like. Yes, Zach Ertz is a good Q or a good tight end, but I mean, I think it was a good move. They won the trade for sure. They 1,000% won the trade. I mean, you give up a third round pick for a tell. I'm given Zach Ertz isn't as good as he used to be, but still, he's a very good tight end to have on your team. And Max Williams, is that the injured tight end right now?
yeah, he was having a pretty good year actually, like a
Yeah,
pretty
I
like a
mean,
breakout season and got hurt.
the addition of Zach Ertz for, I mean, realistically, a third round pick for Zach Ertz, that's a very good deal. You just added to your already amazing offense on the Arizona Cardinals. Looking at them right now, the only undefeated team in the league, leading in the NFC West. I mean, it looks as if they're going all in for a Super Bowl run, which is very possible given their hot start and Kyler playing like an MVP.
I liked him on the defensive side of the ball as well. Just I know JJ Watt was added in the off season. I'm not really sure what his level of volume has been on the defense, but I know what was it last week against was it or this, yeah, sorry, this week against the Browns. He had 5 sacks. So
Anyways, next game we got the Dolphins at the Jaguars over across the pond in London. Jaguars first win since week 1 of last season. Obviously, a very big win for both Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence. Both this win marks their first win in the NFL. Or on the Jaguars for Urban. Did Urban Meyer get a win? He coached the NFL, right? I think he
not,
did.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But first one for Trevor Lawrence on the Jags. Obviously, he likes that. Good for him. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars kicker kind of carried them here. Obviously with the game winner, Tua and the Dolphins. This is disappointing by them after having a very good season last year. Very barely missing the playoffs, and now you're losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's just disappointing. And it's not like they choked at the end. It was a relatively close game all throughout. It's just disappointing. I mean, you shouldn't be losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars of all people.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about like the kicker playing super well for them. Like he made like 3 field goals. He ended up getting like drug
All
tested after
three,
that game.
all
So
three were all three were the first field goals kicked by the
yeah,
Jaguars that year. I mean,
um,
good for the Jaguars. Got their first win. Now the only undefeated team is the Lions, or winless team is the Lions.
I guess you can attribute like the Dolphins' failure this season to like the lack of like receivers they have. Like they only have like
No,
Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki with for like who's out like
I mean,
they're
people were blaming or like crediting the loss to the fact that this is Tua's first game back. Even if it was Tua's first game back, that's not an excuse. I mean, he was out for like what? He's been out since week 1, so this is right, week 1.
I think it was against like the Bills he got knocked out. So
I think that was week 1 when they got shut out, but I don't know. But 4 weeks, yeah, 4 weeks he's been out. 4 or 5 weeks he's been out.
mhm.
That's a long time, yeah. But you shouldn't be losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like if it was any other decent, half decent team, sure, but Jacksonville Jaguars were real. Anyways, next we got the Packers at the Bears. I'm gonna talk about Rogers' comment. He told the Bears fans, "I own you." What do you think about that?
I mean you you can't argue with him. He's right, man. And Bears are like did they win the NFC North like the year of the double doink? Is that like the year Packers was injured or Rodgers was injured? I'm not sure, but
I think wasn't that the wild card?
yeah, they like played the Eagles in the wild card or something.
I don't think
Is
they
it
won. Uh, I think the Packers still won the division. I think that they just made the wild card because they had like a
okay?
9-7 record or something.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm not sure. I might be wrong. They could have won the division, but I think the Packers still won. I don't know. But Aaron
Mhm.
Rodgers does own the Bears. He owns every single team in the NFC North. Um, yeah, whatever. Devontae Adams, 4 receptions, 89 yards, most receiving yards in the league right now. Um, what do you think about that? Does that because there was a debate before season start who's the best receiver in the NFL, and a lot of people were sleeping on Devontae.
Mm, hmm. My personal opinion, he is a very good wide receiver, but I honestly think that it's hard to think of like the top of my head like an actual better receiver than him. So
No, I mean in terms of just sheer athleticism and like just being able to absolutely moss everybody. D Hop best in the league at that. I mean, unbeaten in my opinion, or at least as of right now. I think that he's the best at doing that, mossing people,
Mm.
being a physical wide receiver. But Devontae, he's such a good route runner. Like if you watch some of his highlights, his film, he's so good. Like, hmm.
Yeah, you can
It's
always
just
create
a,
space on pretty much
yeah,
every
he
route.
creates so much separation. It's just insane. Anyways, uh, next game, Bengals at the Lions.
Yeah, so the Bengals proved the draft haters wrong that Jamar Chase was a better pick than Penei Sewell.
I'm not gonna say that.
I
Actually,
think they proved it,
I'm not gonna
man.
say
I
here.
think they proved it,
Here.
bro.
Jamar Chase, he's a good wide receiver. Everybody knew that. I mean, I didn't agree when people said that he was going to be a bust after having a few drops in the preseason. I didn't agree with that. But I still stand by the fact that they should not have drafted a wide receiver. They should have gone with O-line. Yes, he's very good, and if he ends up being better than Penei Sewell, that's great. But it still made the most sense at that time to draft like even like maybe he will be better than Peninsula. Maybe Peninsula will be a bust, but at the time and still as this moment, you need an O line for Burrow. I mean, he's your franchise quarterback. That comes over everything. You can get him weapons later, but if he gets injured or he becomes injury prone because he takes a bad hit in the backfield because he has no protection, then I mean, like that's gone. Your franchise quarterback's gone. I mean, it proved last year he was having a good year and he ended up uh, tore his ACL, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, ended up tearing his ACL, and he was out for the rest of the season. You can't have that happening. You need Burrow to be healthy because well, as much as it pains me to admit this, he is a very good quarterback. He destroyed the Lions. I mean, granted, we have no defense or no offense. I mean, he's a good quarterback. You need to protect him. Joe Mixon on their side, 18 carries, 94 yards. Didn't he get a touchdown?
Yeah, or a cut receiving touchdown.
Receiving touchdown, yeah. Um, I mean, he that was I saw that kind of pained me. Great block by Jamar Chase to let him in the end zone. Let's talk about the Lions.
What do you think about overall, like in the past, I would say like 10 years maybe.
Yeah,
Like they're like lackluster drafting, man. Like the
not
only good
even bro.
players I
Not
can
even
think
like
of that come out of the draft are like
we our draft is.
TJ
I'm not
and
gonna say.
Bennett.
Let me talk, bro. I'm not gonna say that our draft was bad. I agree that we could have had some better picks. As of recently, Jeff Okuda is looking at like the most or the newest bust in the Lions organization. Um, I didn't agree. Well, I'll give him some credit. He's young. He got injured. He got thrown into the limelight. Um, was expected to guard all these all-star wide receivers, but like still, if you're drafted that high, you need to perform. He's not performed so far. But I mean, we had whenever we lost that wild card to the Cowboys. I mean, that was our year. That was our best chance of making or that around that time when we had
Winning a
Stafford.
playoff game.
We had winning a playoff game for one, and we had Stafford, that good Detroit defense. With Ndamukong Suh, I forgot who else was on. I was kind of young, but I was mostly focused on offense. Combination of Matthew Stafford and Calvin
Theo
Johnson,
Riddick. Theo Riddick.
bro. Best wide receiver in the league, and arguably top 5 wide receiver of all time, Calvin Johnson, and Matthew Stafford, who had just thrown 5,000 yards. I mean, like that was our best chance, and we kind of blew it.
I think you can also blame it on like the lack of like free agent signings. Like Tyrell Williams in the offseason is not
Exactly.
like
Right now, I don't really care about this offseason because they made it obvious after trading away Matthew Stafford for all those first round picks that we're rebuilding. But I mean, I would not like to be the first team in the NFL to go 0-17. Like at least that would get us into the record books, but I would like to be the first team to go 0-17. We're already like one of 3 teams to go 0-16 in NFL history. I would not like to go 0-17. Our best player on offense is TJ Hawkinson, but since we have a shit quarterback, we need to utilize DeAndre Swift more. We're using him in the passing game, and we've been using him this entire year in the passing game a lot. But we need to start developing that run game more.
I mean, the Bengals defensive line, they played well.
Yeah, they played well.
Swift only had 2 yards of carries. So
Yeah, but we need to start designing some plays because I was watching it, and it was literally just hand the ball off and hoping you can get a couple of yards. We need to start designing run plays that'll actually
Mhm.
get more yards than like 2 or 3. Like his look at this, he has 13 carries, 24 yards. I was watching the game. He didn't like the mindset of the Lions offensive coordinator was literally hand the ball off and see what he can do. There was no designed run play or anything. Like that works when you have somebody like Derrick Henry where he can literally just throw people over. But I mean DeAndre Swift, he's decent, but he's not or Derrick Henry level. You have to like design some run plays so he can get some yards. And I mean TJ Hawkinson is a beast, top 5 tight end, but we have Jared Goff on the dish. I mean, he's terrible. Absolutely terrible. He missed so many throws. And like even Dan Campbell, he was talking about how Jared Goff needs to step up. I mean, he's not expected to do much, but like still, you have to be able to make those throws. I understand that we're rebuilding, but I want to win some games still. And I mean, in this upcoming draft, there's not a lot of talent. We're most likely not going to get a quarterback because the quarterbacks this year are kind of lackluster. We're most likely going to go for a defensive player, somebody like Myles Garrett, hopefully a generational defensive talent. I mean, uh, disappointing. Anyways, you want to talk about the next one? Texans at the Colts.
yeah, so the Texans, they kind of got blown out. Um, Disappointing after it was last week they played like the Patriots, right? They're pretty close, lost to the Patriots. Um, Jonathan Taylor, man, 10 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's the Texans, man. And, like the quarterback does not run a play. Uh, and I don't know, they just don't have a lot of talent.
I mean, yeah, they don't obviously, but I mean, the Colts defense played well.
It is true.
According
With
to Brady.
T.Y. Hilton was back this week too.
Huh?
4 catches, 80 yards. T.Y. Hilton,
Yeah,
he was back this week.
yeah, I saw that, but that was insane. T.Y. Hilton showing he's not washed up just yet.
Harris Campbell with a 51-yard touchdown. Um, I mean, the Texans, like, I don't know. They just aren't. I don't know what they're gonna have to do. Like, they honestly should have beat the Chiefs that year in 2019. That that game was just like a huge turnaround.
Yeah. Okay, Ben. Um, you want anything else to say, or you want to move on to the next game?
Um, the Colts. What are they? They are 2-4 now. So with who's the powerhouse in the division is like the
Yes.
Titans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
They're close second.
they're
Wait, who? Tennessee, Jacksonville,
yeah, it's Texans.
and the
So
Texans. Yeah, so they're the second in the division, or like in terms of being a powerhouse, they're second.
mm, but they are 2-4. So just I don't know if they can make the playoffs again. Their offense just isn't the same without Philip Rivers, I think.
It's not. Carson Wentz was a big downgrade. It's just unfortunate. Their defense really carried them anyways with Philip Rivers last year, but Carson Wentz is downgraded. But yeah. Anyways, next game, Rams at the New York Giants. Oh, my boy Stafford making his case for MVP, bro. Led the Rams to another huge win, 5-1. NFC West is heating up, bro.
It is, and
It is.
I mean, I don't know how both of
You have
these
the
teams,
Rams,
the
you have
Cardinals and the
the
Rams,
Cardinals, you have the Niners, and then you have the Seahawks. I mean, it's a tough division.
I'm just
Someone's
surprised at how well balanced.
and right now it's looking like the Seahawks with Russ being out.
Boy, it's the 49ers.
No.
The 49ers getting last. They play so bad.
Anyways, I want to talk about
Um,
Cooper Cup. He's having a very good year. This game, 9 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, thriving under Matthew Stafford. Can't say the same about Robert Woods, but whatever. Cooper Cup, fantasy stud, and a top 5 receiver this year in terms of yardage. Um, he's been good in the past. I mean, he's just having a very good year this year. I think he's had only one above 1,000-yard season in his short career thus far. He's like 28 years old, I think. On the Giants side, I mean, Daniel Jones threw 3 picks. What do you think about his performance?
um, it's just like 51 passes. He completed less than half of them. So
I mean, they didn't have Saquon, and he's a major part of their offense, but still, like, and they were missing Slayton. I forgot who else. I think they were missing another wide receiver. It was just injury, but I mean,
yeah,
even if they had their full team, they would have most likely lost anyways. But still, it's embarrassing to lose to anybody.
it's just the turnovers. Like not only did he throw 3 picks, he fumbled once. Like I don't know. I think they just got to get a new quarterback and figure something out.
I say you wait a little bit longer. Don't
But
give
you
up
have
on.
I know what's it? Kenny Galladay is not playing. Kadarius Toney, the first round pick,
Oh
just
yeah,
got
Kenny
injured.
Galladay.
So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe use John Ross a little bit. He was only targeted twice, but he got no reception. So I mean, I'd like him to step up a bit over Dante Pettis. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, just bad for the Giants. I mean, the Cowboys are celebrating right now because their division is absolutely dog. The football team is probably the best team besides the Cowboys, in my opinion. Actually, either the Eagles or the football team, but still, they're not very good. The
Hmm.
Cowboys are easily winning the division, making the playoffs. Next we got, or speaking of the football team, we got Chiefs at the football team. You wanna talk about this one?
Yeah. So even though the Chiefs won by a pretty large margin, um, Patrick Mahomes he threw 2 picks in this game. So he has as many picks this season as he did all season last year. So
The last
I
2
mean,
seasons, I think.
last 2 seasons.
Mm.
But yeah, this is it's very surprising. Just because I don't know how the Chiefs are 3-3. It's like a combination of turnovers, just poor defensive play. I mean, Terrell Williams in place of Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
It was looking close at that half. At the half, it was 10-13, and then the Chiefs just exploded in the second half, 21 points unanswered, but still, one of the picks, it wasn't even Patrick Mahomes' fault. It was Tyreek Hill dropped the ball. That's the second time he's done this year.
Mm.
I mean, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, granted, the ball was kind of wide, but still. I mean, it was partially Patrick Mahomes' fault. I mean, you can't throw it wide, but it was mostly Tyreek's fault. You have to catch that ball. You're an NFL wide receiver, even if it isn't a perfect ball. You have to be able to catch that. The second one was stupid. I don't know what he was doing. He was trying to he was like getting sacked and he tried to throw it downfield. At that point, just take the sack or throw it out of bounds. If you're gonna make a play, throw it out of bounds. Don't try to make a god throw downfield.
Mm.
I think he was trying to hit Tyreek or something at that end zone, and then it went like 10 yards or something. And it was literally just an air ball for free. Uncontested interception for the football team. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he is not looking like his perfect self. I mean, it had to happen eventually, but it's unfortunate. He started having the season that they would have liked. They're 3-3, which is I'm not saying their season's over, but I mean,
Yeah,
all that big talk, like we're gonna go 17-0, first team to go 17-0, all that. I mean, it's hardening to see them like this.
I think they'll definitely be able to turn this around
Yeah,
because
I mean, they made the adjustment at halftime and they were able to pull it out. But when you're playing someone like Cardinals or even playing the Chargers again, like you can't be doing this. Their defense needs to improve big time.
unlike the Washington side of the ball, they're just Antonio Gibson, man. He's been pretty disappointing this whole season.
Yeah.
Like just a lack of volume on running and receiving pretty much. Like at times JD McKissick can outshine him, which is not good.
Anyways, next game we got the Cardinals at the Browns. Okay. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, so the Cardinals, man, come out with a win, but what were they doing at halftime? How'd they let a Hail Mary to Donovan Peoples-Jones of all people? But yeah, the defense, they like shut out the Browns until they were like insane pretty much the whole game up until the Hail Mary, and then they shut out the Browns in the third and fourth quarter. Probably because Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb they got injured in this game, I think. So, or Nick Chubb was already out. So
Yeah. Baker needs to play better. He does. Needs to play the
what
level.
happened to Jarvis Landry? Is he just injured? Is he not?
I think so. I think he's
Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones, 2 touchdowns. One because of that lucky Hail Mary. But just, yeah, without Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, this offense cannot do anything. They just run through the offense, and I don't know how they're gonna be able to beat the Ravens in this division without Kareem Hunt for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, Baker needs to step up. He does. If they want to make the playoffs, if they want to get deep into the playoffs, Baker needs to step up. He can't be a subpar struggling quarterback. He needs to step it up, make some stuff happen. Anyways, next we got Las Vegas Raiders at the Broncos. I mean, first game without John Gruden after obviously the emails he got, or he was asked to step down. Um, and they played very well. The Raiders did. I mean, the Broncos, they surprisingly held their own. I mean, a lot of people are giving them heat because they what's it called? Because they so-called had an easy schedule and that's why they got off to a hot start. But I mean, they kept it close, 10-point differential. I mean, the Raiders are a good team. Um, obviously, I mean Teddy Bridgewater played pretty bad. He had 3 interceptions. I mean, you can't be turning the ball over that much if you want to win. Um, unless on the Raiders side, Derek Carr had another good game. Henry Ruggs, 3 receptions and 97 yards. Um, I mean, this Raiders offense was looking very good, as it always does. And I mean, they're again making a case for why they don't sleep on them. AFC West strong. You got the Chiefs, you got the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos. I don't. The Broncos are in a tough division already. I don't think they're gonna make it. And then you have the Raiders, Chiefs, and the Chargers. I mean, it's a tough division to do anything. They're making a case for um, why they're one of the good teams in the AFC.
Yeah, I was just surprised by like the Broncos defense, even with 4 turnovers by Teddy Bridgewater. The Broncos defense this year, they have been hyped up to be one of the best, especially with Patrick Surtain being added. Um, Great safeties, but no turnovers for them. They allowed 400 yards, more than 400 yards. So, I mean, yeah, this division is like the NFC West of the AFC, man. All these teams have very good records. So, in terms of who I think will win the division, I think the Chiefs will still win, man.
Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs
I'm
winning
going
the
with the
division.
Chargers.
Even with that horrible loss to the Ravens, it
Yeah,
was a horrible loss.
it was a horrible loss. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But I mean, I think that they played well enough to what's it called, make their case for winning the AFC. And it's not like the Chiefs haven't had bad games. This
Mm.
is the only bad game that the Chargers have had. Anyways, let's just talk about the Cowboys next. You want to talk about it?
Cowboys, they are them boys. That was an insane ending to the game where first Trayvon Diggs, he got a pick six. Then Patriots got a long touchdown to Kendrick Bourne. And there's a one OT. And the Cowboys, man, they came up with it. And then CD Lamb, 9 receptions, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zeke, 17 carries, 69 yards. So it was just an excellent day for Dak Prescott.
On the defensive side of the ball, Trayvon Diggs, another interception. He had a pick six, and interesting enough, he has the same amount of touchdowns as his older brother Stefan. Uh, that's it's just funny. Um, anyways, I want to talk about that late game Hail Mary throw by Mac Jones, um, to Kendrick Bourne. I mean, 75 yards. I was watching it. Trayvon was playing very aggressive. I mean, probably going for another pick, but a lot of people were giving him hate. They were like, "Oh, it was Trayvon's fault. He got mossed." Looking back at it, he did not. That was all the safety's fault. I don't know what he was doing. He literally jumped in front of the ball. He got in Trayvon's way. Like you saw that Trayvon had to like stop running so he wouldn't run into him. That was literally the safety's fault. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm grilling that guy during film session because it made the game a lot closer than it should have been in all actuality. Um, CD Lamb, 9 receptions, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, went off. Like you said, Dak had a good game. I mean, just Cowboys proving that they're a powerhouse team. A lot of doubters coming into the season, but proving them wrong.
Yeah, the only loss they have is to the Cowboys week 1. So on their resume, they got teams like the Chargers on there. So they are looking good as ever before Dak got injured last season. So
They were looking good before Dak got injured. Once
yeah,
again, they were looking to have a good season, and then obviously Dak got injured, and a lot of people discredited their team because their top QB was out and they didn't play too well. Next game we got the Seahawks at the Steelers.
man. Even though the Seahawks lost, man, I'm so proud of Gino for stepping up, playing the way he did. That first half was just horrible, but um, I mean, in the second half, man, Alex Collins, 20 carries, 101 yards, a touchdown, and the whole offense was playing well, and the defense stepped it up too. Yeah, they were causing a lot of 3-and-outs. So, um, I mean, I just Seahawks, man, they really should have won this game. They had like Jamal Adams. He had an interception that hit him in his helmet because he didn't even put his hands up. And towards the end of the game, DK fumbled because the defender punched it out, and Gino fumbled because
DK
TJ
fumbled
Watt
because he was
fumbled.
being stupid. I don't know what he was doing.
He was just trying to get more yards for the kick, but like,
Why? Why would you do that?
yeah,
You're getting at most
he
2 yards,
was he was like
and
standing still on the field, and
you're
the
standing
guy had an
still
easy
on the
punch out.
field. I mean, I don't know what you were doing. At that point, just go out of bounds. And
Um,
if it didn't get if it had not been recovered, that would have been bad.
yeah,
Lost your team the game because you're trying to do too much.
and the Seahawks they could not stop Najee Harris. 24 carries, 81 yards on the ground, and also 6 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown receiving. So, um, just I think the Seahawks they just need to be more consistent in both halves because like you can't always decide to play ball late in the game, especially with no Russell Wilson now. And I mean, he made some excellent throws, but just he's not the same. And I mean, the receiving game was not as good as it was. Pretty much the running game carried them the entire time. So, I mean, looking forward is it's definitely going to be a hard couple of weeks without Russ.
Okay, next we got the Bills at Tennessee. Derrick Henry absolutely stomped on the Bills as per usual. 20 yards, 143 carries, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's on record to have another 2K season, but he's probably not going to win MVP because he's a running back. Had an insane 76-yard carry. I mean, to be that big and be that fast, that's just insane. Um, Ryan Tannehill, I mean, he did his job. He handed it off to Derrick Henry. Um, AJ Brown, Julio Jones, both combined for less total yardage than, or barely about the same total yardage as Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry just carries that team, bro. I mean, no other way to say it. Um, Talking about the game, what do you think about the Bills' call to go for it on 4th and 1 at the goal line, or not at the, or yeah, pretty much at the goal line in the red zone instead of taking the field goal for the tie.
Influencers to promote.
I actually like the decision by Sean McDermott, man. The announcers are saying, man, it was a gutsy play call, but it just shows how he has so much confidence in his quarterback, and it just builds like that team culture that they have there. They just trust each other. Um, I mean, I was just surprised that he like went to the left of his center rather than he should have like audible or something. Like the way the play was designed, it was like so easy for that defensive lineman to get through and just completely shut it down. So, obviously it lost them the game, but the Bills they can afford to lose some because they have like the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets in their division. So I don't know. It was a gutsy call and didn't pay out in the end, but I liked it.
I don't agree with it. I mean, sure, it's a gutsy call if you're going for the win, but I don't like it. I mean, obviously your division is pretty easy, so you're not worried about not like that game affecting you too much, but it's still a win-loss. You have to go for the tie there. And I mean, they tried the QB sneak already with Josh Allen and it failed miserably. And I don't know why you would do that again after seeing what happened the first time. I mean, Josh Allen doesn't know how to run a QB sneak apparently. But I
Maybe
mean,
they should have just like try to like try and get them to jump off sides because there's only like 11 seconds in the game. I think they only had 2 timeouts, so you would only have like
honestly,
a couple of tries.
that's probably a better what's it called, tactic than going for it, trying to get them jump offside because they're expecting the run and then you get a free first down and then it's easier to score a touchdown from there. But they actually went for it and they didn't get it, and that sucks. Okay, let's go into predictions for week 7. Okay, we got Denver at Cleveland. I'm gonna take Cleveland in this one. Bad showing last week, but I mean, I think they're gonna bounce back, and it's Denver.
Yeah, especially with Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb, they're projected not to play this week.
Yeah.
They have Ernest Johnson. I believe he played a couple games last year. But yeah, especially the way Teddy Bridgewater, uh, although he had those 4 turnovers like we talked about, I think the Broncos got this one.
Next we got Cincinnati at Baltimore. I'm gonna take the Ravens in this one. I mean, they just shut down what people were calling the best team in the AFC. I mean, Lamar is playing out of his mind. That Ravens defense was playing very good. I mean, Cincinnati, they just came off a win, but they were playing the Lions, so it doesn't really count. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens in this one.
I'm actually going to take the Cincinnati Bengals, bro. This is a statement win if they get this one right here. Just because the Ravens, they almost lost the Lions. So, the law of, I don't know, syllogism says that the Browns have or the Bengals have the capability to beat the Ravens. So, especially like, dude, that Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow connection is just what they needed, I think. The offensive line, you could have went there, but I just think that connection is just so good right now.
Okay, next we got Washington at Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay in this one. I mean, the Washington's team is very mediocre right now, and I mean, they're just really mediocre compared to the Green Bay powerhouse. Aaron Rodgers coming off a good win against the Bears, and Devontae Adams is on a mean streak this season so far. I don't really think they have anybody on the football team that's going to be able to cover Devontae, so unless they're able to shut him down, I think that Packers are gonna win this one easily.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I think Aaron Jones, he should have a good game.
Yeah.
Mm, I know the Packers defense, just they don't really have many people on them, but it's the football team, so they should be able to stop them pretty well.
Okay. Next we've got Atlanta at Miami. Um, I'm gonna take Miami in this one. I mean, they obviously just lost to the Jaguars, which doesn't look too good. But Brian Flores was kind of heated in his post game, took responsibility for the loss, talking about how they needed to do better. And I think that he's going to be working these guys to make sure that they get this dub here. I think they're going to be playing with a chip, or not playing with. They're going to be motivated to win this one here. Bounce back. Hopefully, Tua can have a good game. Maybe they'll incorporate Miles Gaskin a bit more. He can get some runs. On Atlanta's side, I mean, you have Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts. And I don't think they're going to do very good unless Young who carries their team kicks.
Young Wei, bro.
Young Way,
Young Wei.
Young Way.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Falcons, man. I just like love their offense right now, even though Matt Ryan, he's not really throwing down the field as much as he used to. He's more relying on running back passes like to Cordero Patterson and Mike Davis. But Calvin Ridley, he's coming back after a short period off due to some personal reasons. And he has been their main guy, other than Cordero Patterson. So I think, although this is a must-win pretty much for the Dolphins, this Falcons team is relatively weak. I think the Falcons, they got this one in the bag.
Okay, next we've got New York Jets at New England. I'm gonna take the Jets in this one. I mean, I don't know. I think that they just had a bye week, right?
Mm.
They had time to rest and recover. New England coming off that tough loss to the to the to the Cowboys.
Cowboys go.
Yeah, to the Cowboys. I mean, on paper, New England is probably favorite to win this game, but I don't know. I'm gonna take the Jets. I think that they're gonna uh create a good game plan here to beat the Patriots.
I like your your prediction, but I'm gonna have to take the Patriots, man. Just Patriots have owned the Jets, man. Just like Aaron Rodgers owned the Bears. So just that's the Jets, man. The only the only good win was against the Tennessee Titans. I'm really not sure how they won that game, but Bill Belichick, he knows what he's doing. So I'll let that happen.
Next, we got Carolina and New York Giants. I'm gonna take New York in this one. I mean, on paper, again, Carolina's probably a better team, but Sam Darnold has been playing good the past couple of weeks. And yeah, just Sam Darnold has been playing good the past couple of weeks. I think he's gonna fumble the bag on this one. He's not gonna play very good, and their offense is gonna struggle.
You are going with all the upset picks, man. But I mean, I have to take the Panthers in this one. I mean, I know DJ Moore, he hasn't been as productive as in the last few weeks as earlier in the season, but this Giants defense, they have not played well up until this point whatsoever. So I think Sam Darnold will get back on the right track in this one. Um, CMC is still out, I'm pretty sure, but as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, it should be this should be smooth sailing for them.
Next we've got Kansas City at Tennessee. I'm gonna take Tennessee in this one. I mean, the Chiefs defense, it's pretty terrible. I mean, like I think Derrick Henry, he's on a mean streak. He's gonna feast on their offense or on their defense. He's gonna feast on their defense. Chiefs aren't gonna be able to stop him. And I mean, unless it's gonna be a slugfest. That's my prediction. It's gonna be a slugfest. And I don't think the Chiefs are gonna be able to keep up because the Tennessee's defense isn't even that terrible. I think they're gonna be able to get a few stops and that's gonna end up winning them the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans as well. They actually have a better record than the Chiefs right now. Uh, but yeah, like you said, Derrick Henry, man, already almost 800 yards this season, man. Chiefs, they really do not have any run-stopping guys besides like Chris Jones. So should be, like you said, it's definitely gonna be close. But I think the Titans can edge it out like they did last week with the Bills.
Next we got Detroit at the Rams. I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions. You know,
Have you said that every single week? Every single week you said the Lions would win. You said that.
huh?
You said like every
Like,
single week, even against the Ravens.
Stafford's playing his old team. Like we know his tricks. We're gonna get
He's
inside
just
of his
gonna
head. He's
throw
gonna,
the bat,
yeah,
throw it for them.
he's gonna fumble the bag. We're gonna get in his head. You know, nah.
Mm.
The Rams are gonna destroy us. I mean, come on. There's no chance that we win.
Yeah, it's just.
I swear to God, if we somehow win this game, I'm like,
Okay, think about it. They almost beat the Ravens. The Ravens, they were projected like probably lose by 2 possessions or something. They're like, yeah. Okay, just for you. I'm gonna pick the Lions. I think DeAndre Swift will have an amazing game, and the Lions defense, they always figure out a way to get some turnovers. So
we're
and even
not
get some fourth
winning.
down stops, man. If they just gotta stop Cooper Kupp, Darrell Henderson, Robert Woods.
Yeah, we have to
Like
stop the whole team, bro. We're not winning. Like I'm prepared to be
I
0
say like a 10% chance.
I'm prepared to be 0-7 after today. Like
0-7, you have to win like 10 in a row
yeah, what
to make a playoffs.
there's no chance that we make it. Like
I'm going with the Lions, man. I'm going with the Lions.
whatever. Philly at Las Vegas. I'm gonna take Vegas in this one. I mean, their offense is amazing. They've been playing good this entire year. Um, yeah.
I'm gonna actually go with the Eagles. I know their passing game and run game isn't like they want it to be, but I mean Jalen Hurts, though he's had some pretty bad moments with turnovers and whatnot, he's a pretty good rushing quarterback in the end zone, man. I mean Devontae Smith, he hasn't been playing well last few weeks as well. Quez Watkins, I mean he's kind of been a bit better than Devontae, but Eagles, I think this would be another statement win for them. Because Raiders team at the top of the AFC West, it'd be a good win for them if they want to try and catch up to the Cowboys.
Okay. Next, we've got the Houston Texans at the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, this is easily the Cardinals. I mean, Texans are a bad team. They've been playing bad this entire year. And the Cardinals are the only undefeated team in the league. I mean, this is easy.
It is easy, and no, I really want the Texans to win this, but there's pretty much no chance. Like, I mean, they got blown out by the Colts last week.
Yeah.
Just let's just hope Brandon Cooks gets a touchdown.
Okay, next we got We got Chicago at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay easily, no doubt in my mind. Chicago, they're not a good team.
Just because you said that, never know.
Really?
The Bears beat the Lions, bro. Like, come on, you can't underestimate that.
But the Lions are the best team in the
Yes, because Jared Goff is like even though he can't handle the snap or not handle the snap. Sorry, that was like center's fault. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, it was. Frank Ragnow, who's now out for the entire season.
Yeah, man. Wait, the Bucks lost to the Rams. But yeah, Rob Gronkowski's gonna be back. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Wait, Nick. I'm pretty sure the Bears will beat the Bucks last year with Nick Foles, but I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen again. Because Nick Foles isn't playing, Justin Fields. The Bucks got it.
Anyways, next we've got Indiana at San Fran. I'm gonna take San Fran in this one.
Yeah, I mean, even though they are NFC West rival, I'm gonna take the 49ers too. Their defense, I predict they will be able to stop Jonathan Taylor relatively well. And Deebo Samuel will get things on again.
Next we got New Orleans at Seattle. I'm gonna take New Orleans in this one. I mean,
Why, bro? Like, why? What is
no-brainer.
the main reason?
Because Seattle's playing like crap. They don't have Russ. I mean,
They did not play that bad against the Steelers.
but they did though.
Here is because the Steelers defensive coordinator teaches them to punch the ball out.
Huh.
I Seahawks. I mean the Saints, bro.
I'm taking the
Okay,
Saints.
they had a bye last week, right?
Huh?
Did they have a bye last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Alvin Kamara, he's basically a better version of Najee. So I mean, he's probably gonna have a good game. But
Yeah, they're gonna beat you.
the Seahawks,
They're gonna
if
be
they
2-5
lose this
and
game,
not make the playoffs this year. That's all I have to say.
Seahawks don't make the playoffs
Welcome.
this year.
I've been all too familiar with this. Haven't won a
I
playoff
think the Seahawks should fire Pete Carroll, man. His
game.
time is up, man. After they honestly shouldn't fire him after that play call, man.
Your call as Seahawks fan. Anyways, anything else before we end out the podcast?
Yeah. What do you think? Who do you think can win Rookie of the Year? Man?
Rookie of the year?
Yeah.
Probably Jamar Chase. Because
I have to agree
there's
with
not really any rookie QBs that are standing out to me, to be honest.
Yeah, and like no other. I mean, who is like the best running back in this draft? Najee?
Yeah,
Najee,
Najee was
maybe,
the best. Huh?
maybe. Yeah.
Najee was
It's
the best.
probably between him and Jamar.
No, it was Najee. Najee was the best runner.
Travis Etienne too.
Etienne got injured, bro.
Yeah.
No, but I think that Jamar Chase is gonna win,
Mhm.
especially since
About,
he seems
yeah,
to
go
be
ahead.
his favorite target. He's gonna
Yeah.
kind of like a Justin Jefferson year, like how Justin Jefferson
Mhm.
had. If Justin Herbert didn't have that good of a year last year, then Justin Jefferson for sure would have won Rookie of the Year.
What about defensive player of the year? You think
Defense player,
Trayvon Diggs can win that?
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, just because
Trayvon Diggs or TJ
just
Watt?
because okay, the game against the Seahawks, like that's a fluke. No,
No, he's
that was
he's
like
consistently good. Either
mhm,
Trayvon, if Trayvon Diggs, like Trayvon Diggs is like the stats he has right now. I mean, like he's already a candidate for the defensive player of the year. If he can continue it, then he's a good candidate for defensive player of the year. I mean, it's kind of rare for a cornerback to win, right?
yeah.
But like, I mean, if he continues to have the kind of year he's having, then I mean, it'd be a no-brainer it'd be a no-brainer to not give it to him, or to give it to him. It'd be a no-brainer to give it to him. But if he hits a platoon here in the next couple of weeks where he's not getting any interceptions, like he has 7 right now, right? 6 or 7? 7.
Yeah, I think so.
He has 7. I mean, he's playing amazing. He has seven interceptions. That's almost as like that's for some cornerbacks. That's about as much as they get in their entire career, right?
Mm. Like I'm just super surprised because last year I'm pretty sure he was like he was a rookie, right? Pretty sure
He
he
was
was
a
not very
rookie,
good.
sophomore
Like the
season.
only pretty sure the only highlight was like when he punched the ball out of DK's hands
Yeah,
on the one. So like
I mean
just insane.
he's a good candidate for rookie of the year. He is, or not rookie of the year, defense player of the year. But I
Yeah.
think that unless he can continue his good progress, because really, like the only way he's gonna win is if he can get like double-digit interceptions. Is the only way I see him winning. Otherwise, it's gonna go to
Over do you think DJ Watt is in the league right now?
yes. TJ Watt
Who would
has
be like another I'm trying to think of like another person.
Chandler
I
Jones.
can't I mean, I
He
think the only good game he
kind of
had
like
all season was like
kind
first
of
game.
faded into existence though.
Yeah,
I
because the
think
only
I think
good
TJ Watt, Chandler
yeah,
Jones, Trayvon Diggs, maybe Aaron Donald. Or Aaron Donald's always
yeah.
maybe Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett's playing good.
Mm,
Um, can't really think of anybody else. Those are the top
mm.
contenders.
People said who won it last year? Aaron Donald?
Yeah. TJ
Yeah, but
Watt
a
got
lot of people
snubbed. I'm not
said
even
TJ
gonna lie.
Watt got
Aaron Donald's
robbed,
good,
yeah.
but TJ Watt got robbed. TJ Watt's
Yeah.
consistently been
He
getting robbed.
definitely deserved it.
He did deserve it last year. I mean, I'm not saying Donald didn't play good, but he deserved it over Donald. What about MVP?
I do not understand how people are saying Kyler for MVP. Man.
He
I know they're undefeated, but like,
No,
come
but he's
on.
playing so good.
Okay, okay, fine. Maybe him as like, I mean,
Who else is MVP?
okay,
Tell me. Derrick Henry. Yeah.
yeah, Derrick Henry.
Who else?
What about, okay, I mean, I actually am not, I'm pretty sure I've never seen like a single Cardinals game, so I don't know how good he actually is, but like,
Who?
how good like Kyler is. And
Tyler is
I
good.
know he's made some good, like, really good highlight plays, so like,
He's good.
Rondale Moore and stuff like that, just like running out the pocket and all that. But, like,
I mean,
Cardinals are just good overall, man. I just don't think it's just because of him.
it's not just because of him, but that's not how the MVP works.
Just like the best player.
Yeah. The
I
meaning
think
of
Matt Cooper
most
Cup.
valuable player, it's not even, it lost all of its meaning. If it was actually the most valuable player, then Derrick Henry would have won it last year, not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was good, but like Derrick Henry, nearly 2,000 yards, carried that Tennessee team, and he's carrying them right now. It's a quarterback
Yeah,
award.
you're right. I
Basically,
cannot think of anybody else.
The MVP has turned into who's the best quarterback in the league. That's what it turned into. I think Josh Allen's low-key a sleeper, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's a sleeper. Not a lot of people are talking about him, but he's having a good year. He had a good year last year too, but I mean, he kind of fell off in the last few games, but he's having a
He's sharing the wealth with like every single receiver on his team. It's not just Stephon Diggs. He's finding like Cole Beasley, his tight ends.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
But yeah. You want to add anything else before we end it now?
What about I think Matthew Stafford? He's winning comeback MVP, man.
I don't
Come back just because he went for the Lions.
literally just because he got wide receivers. He got Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and a good O line. And a
It's
good
crazy
defense.
to think about like how the Rams.
Matthew Stafford has always been good. He just was surrounded by shit players.
It's just just because of poor drafting and like poor moves made by the GM. Like,
Yeah,
you need to get good veteran players.
We had a franchise quarterback that was very good, and we wasted his career.
I know, like last year you had Mohamed Sanu staying on the bench the entire season.
Yeah, like
Like, he was playing well in a few
no one
games
wants to go
actually.
to the Lions. Bad organization. Anyways, this has been Football Fever, week 6. Next week we'll be recapping the games of week 7, as well giving predictions for week 8. Until then, this has been Arav,
And Nacho Boy Ben.
and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Dios.